Welcome back the world of numismatics, where stories unfold not just through metal but through time. One coin stands quietly in the shadows of history, waiting for its story to be told, the 1988 1-cent coin. It's small, copper-coated, and often overlooked, yet within its tiny frame lies a tale that stirs the imagination of collectors and dreamers alike. This coin, bearing the humble face value of 1 cent, holds a place in a different universe, one where that same cent echoes in millions, 88 million, to be exact. Some say it's legend, others say it's luck, but those who know coins know that every detail tells a truth waiting to be uncovered. The 1988 penny was minted in an era of transition, both politically and economically. The late 80s marked the final days of the Cold War, a time when the world stood at the edge of change. In the United States, the penny carried the image of President Abraham Lincoln on one side, a tradition that began in 1909 to honor his 100th birthday. On the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of national pride and enduring unity. But this 1988 version, minted with subtle variations, holds a secret that sets it apart. There are collectors who believe that among the billions of pennies struck in that year, only a handful were minted with imperfections or unique attributes, so rare and so distinct that their value has skyrocketed beyond imagination. A particular batch, possibly produced in Philadelphia or Denver, escaped unnoticed by mint workers but not by the sharp eyes of passionate collectors. Some of these coins were struck using old or mismatched dies, leading to small errors that now fuel million-dollar dreams. One such variation, whispered about in collectors' forums and online communities, is the doubled die. It's a rare error caused when the die used to strike the coin imprints a doubled image, often visible in the letters or numbers. On a 1988 penny, a doubled die could mean overlapping lines on the word liberty or the date itself, turning a common coin into a rare masterpiece. There are even rumors of transitional errors, coins minted using older dies from 1982 or earlier, when the penny was transitioning from mostly copper to a zinc core. These anomalies are more than just mistakes, they are the golden ticket for collectors. The fascination with the 1988 penny extends beyond just the physical coin. It's about the chase. The thrill of finding something so rare, so valuable, hiding in plain sight. Every drawer, every jar, every pocket becomes a potential goldmine. People have found these rare versions in old piggy banks, inherited collections, even forgotten coffee tins in the attic. And when they do, their lives can change in an instant. Auction houses have seen similar rare pennies fetch jaw-dropping prices, with private collectors willing to pay tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands, to own a piece of this mysterious coin history. But where does the figure of $88 million come in? It's not just a play on the coin's date, it's a symbol, a mythical number that represents the ultimate dream. Imagine the face value of a coin aligning with the year of minting, 1988, and then multiplying that symbolic number into a narrative so bold it captures the attention of millions. It's the idea that a 1-cent coin, born in 1988, could hold a destiny of 88 million. It's the story that collectors spin and tell, and it's what keeps the legend alive. Whether that exact figure is achieved in real currency or in storytelling value, the number resonates like folklore, whispered in coin shops, echoed in YouTube comments, and imagined in the dreams of aspiring numismatists. The history of the penny itself is as layered as the nation that mints it. From the early large cents of the 1790s to the modern Lincoln Memorial designs, the coin has seen wars, peace, depression, innovation, and evolution. By 1988, the penny had already changed its composition, transitioning from mostly copper to a copper-plated zinc core in 1982 due to rising metal costs. This change, though economical for the mint, created new opportunities for collectors to study, compare, and find unique versions. Some believe that a few 1988 pennies were struck on leftover copper planchets, essentially making them copper coins in a zinc era. If confirmed, such a find would be worth a fortune, and then there's the question of provenance. Where has a rare 1988 penny been? Who held it? Was it used to buy a candy bar in 1989? Did it pass through the hands of someone unaware of its destiny? Perhaps it sat unnoticed in a donation jar, its true worth waiting silently behind a red hue. These questions don't have concrete answers, but that's part of the allure. Every coin tells a story, and for this penny, the story is still unfolding. Collectors and historians alike dig deep into mint records, error reports, and die usage logs from 1988. Some analyze the coin under high-powered microscopes, searching for clues that might separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. They examine the font spacing, the sharpness of the design, and even the alignment of the coin's edge. A small misalignment, known as a die clash or off-center strike, could push the value into uncharted territory. Some lucky finds have already crossed the $10,000 threshold, but the Holy Grail, the coin that could ignite a bidding war into the tens of millions, might still be out there. Online marketplaces have played a huge role in the rising fame of the 1988 penny. Platforms like eBay, Heritage Auctions, and Stax Bowers are filled with listings claiming rare finds. Some are legitimate, others are hopeful exaggerations, but each listing adds to the mystique. Occasionally, a coin sells quietly, purchased by a private collector who sees potential where others see pocket change. These behind-the-scenes trades fuel speculation and hype, and with each rumor of $1 million sale, the legend grows. The coin has even become a cultural symbol. Artists have incorporated the 1988 penny into their work, creating sculptures, jewelry, and digital art that celebrates its potential worth. It's been featured in videos, blogs, and even fictional stories about time travel and hidden treasure. In schools, it's used as a case study in both economics and storytelling. The idea that something so small can be worth so much is a powerful metaphor, one that resonates far beyond coin collecting. There are also whispers in the numismatic world of a master collection, one that holds the most valuable pennies ever minted, including an ultra-rare 1988 version with a combination of errors so unique it defies explanation. Some say it's locked away in a private vault, never to be seen until the time is right. Others say it's a myth. But in this world, myths and coins are often one and the same, until someone proves otherwise. The community around the 1988 penny continues to grow. Forums buzz with new discoveries, debates, and shared stories of lucky finds. YouTube channels dedicate entire series to analyzing and discussing this coin, fueling curiosity and keeping the dream alive. Even those with no prior interest in numismatics are drawn in by the idea that a simple penny could change their life. It's not just about money. It's about connection. The 1988 penny connects generations. Grandparents passed down jars of old coins to their grandchildren, who now search through them with new eyes, hoping to find the one coin that could be part of something much bigger. It becomes a bonding experience, a treasure hunt, a legacy. And whether or not they find the mythical $88 million version, they walk away with stories, with memories, and with the thrill of discovery. The deeper one dives into the story of the 1988 penny, the more it begins to mirror the American story itself, a tale of small beginnings, of quiet persistence, and of the dream that something so seemingly insignificant can rise to greatness. Whether nestled in a collector's velvet case or jingling in someone's pocket without them realizing it, the 1988 penny is a symbol of unseen value, of history hidden in plain sight, of fortune quietly waiting. So the next time you come across a penny, pause for a moment. Look at the date. Hold it to the light. You might just be holding more than a coin. You might be holding a story. A chance. A legend. Maybe even a 1988 cent with a destiny worth $88 million. Next, the bustling world of coin collecting. There are always whispers of rare pieces, valuable mints, and hidden treasures tucked away in the pockets of the unknowing. One such coin that has captured attention in recent years is the unassuming yet increasingly sought-after 2011 1-cent coin. It's a penny that, on the surface, seems like every other piece of copper-coated zinc, but in the hands of collectors and historians, it has become a key to stories of hidden wealth, mysterious origins, and the curious dance of history and value. This is the journey of a coin minted during a year when most weren't paying close attention. 2011 wasn't a year of monumental change for coinage. There were no obvious revolutionary minting techniques unveiled, no widely celebrated anniversaries for which commemoratives were struck. Yet, the 2011 1-cent coin has become the center of stories whispered at collector conventions and online forums, with some claiming certain specimens are worth up to $11 million. It starts with the Lincoln design. Since 1909, Abraham Lincoln has graced the 1-cent coin. The familiar profile, the image of the 16th president etched in calm contemplation, has endured over a century. Over the years, changes to the reverse side have marked milestones in American history, from the wheat stalks of the early 20th century to the Lincoln Memorial and later, the shield that debuted in 2010. By 2011, the coin featured that same Union shield on the reverse, a symbol of national unity and strength. But as with all things in numismatics, it's the details that matter most. In 2011, the U.S. Mint produced over 5 billion 1-cent coins across its facilities, including Philadelphia and Denver. Most of these coins passed through hands unnoticed, used for candy, laundry, or left behind in convenience store trays. Yet, buried among the billions are a few that stand apart. A few that weren't supposed to exist. A few that tell a different story entirely. Whispers first began when a coin dealer in Illinois claimed to have acquired a 2011 penny with unusual features. According to reports, the coin had a brilliant, near-proof finish but bore no mint mark. It also had strange striations on the field and a slightly misaligned die. At first glance, nothing too remarkable, errors happen. But as more examples emerged with similar anomalies, attention grew. Could it be that the mint accidentally released a test strike or a limited batch of prototype coins? Collectors began scouring rolls, bags, and even their own change. One man in Texas claimed to find a flawless 2011 penny stuck between couch cushions. He sent it off for grading, expecting an average return. What came back instead was a certified mint state 70 error coin with die doubling on both the obverse and reverse. Experts were baffled. The doubling was clean and distinct, yet didn't match any known varieties catalogued from that year. Soon, speculation gave way to excitement. Stories started to surface about a small run of experimental coins struck at a facility under contract with the U.S. Mint. These coins were never meant for circulation. They were meant to test new blanks, perhaps with a different metal composition, or a potential finish for a special set that was never released. For reasons unknown, a handful of these coins slipped into the massive production lines and were released to the public. Whether through oversight, sabotage, or simply human error, they escaped the fate of being melted down. As these rare coins appeared in the hands of sharp-eyed collectors, auctions began to reflect their rarity. A specimen found in California sold for nearly $70,000 in a private auction. Another, from a collector in Ohio, was graded and valued at $130,000 due to its flawless condition and previously undocumented strike anomaly. The record, however, belongs to a coin discovered in a bankroll purchased by a teenage hobbyist. He paid 50 cents for a roll of pennies at his local bank. Inside, nestled between other 2011 D coins, was a perfectly struck penny that experts have since dubbed the Phantom Cent. This coin, now graded at a pristine MS-70 and confirmed to have a rare double die reverse along with a unique burnished finish, sold at a high-end collector's auction for a staggering $11 million. But money is only part of the story. The mystery behind the 2011 cent's high value goes beyond its financial worth. It dives deep into the uncertainties of minting, the bureaucratic fog that often clouds the workings of government facilities, and the allure of the unknown. Several retired Mint employees have been interviewed over the years, offering conflicting accounts. Some deny anything unusual about the 2011 production run. Others suggest that a confidential experiment was conducted with alternative alloys due to rising zinc and copper costs at the time. One anonymous source claimed the Mint was testing a coin resistant to extreme wear for potential use in military survival kits, which may explain the exceptional durability and shine on some discovered specimens. further adding to the intrigue are rumors of a lost batch of coins minted in a secure sub-facility never disclosed to the public. Some believe these coins were never intended for American circulation at all but were part of a failed attempt to produce a universal coin prototype under an international trade program. Whether myth or fact, the trail has led collectors and researchers to delve deep into production logs, archive memos, and procurement records, many of which conveniently went missing during a 2012 database migration at the Mint. The appeal of the 2011 1-cent coin lies in its enigma. Unlike commemorative coins or those tied to major historical events, it wasn't supposed to be special. Its value isn't anchored in overt symbolism or gold content. Instead, its worth is in the possibility, the sliver of a story, the trace of something unusual, the idea that a simple coin could carry within it a secret yet uncovered. Collectors have also noted that these rare 2011 cents age differently. While standard pennies darken and corrode over time, the mysterious specimens maintain their luster, almost defying the expected degradation of zinc-based coinage. Metallurgical analysis of one such coin revealed trace elements not found in any publicly reported mint alloy, including a rare earth element typically used in high-end electronics and aerospace materials. The findings have fueled theories about secret military contracts, advanced material testing, and even government cover-ups. Some speculate that a handful of coins were distributed intentionally, perhaps as part of a grand experiment or a test of public awareness. Others think they may have been smuggled out by a disgruntled mint employee with an eye for creating a legacy. Regardless of origin, each coin that surfaces adds another layer to the mythos that there's a romanticism in the chase for these rare coins. The idea that a piece of pocket change, long considered worthless by many, could be a hidden gem worth millions. It has reignited passion in the numismatic community, drawing new generations into the fold, eyes wide and hopeful, staring into every penny they find. The 2011 1-cent coin, in its most common form, is still just a penny. But in rare cases, those fortunate few that escape the ordinary, it represents something extraordinary. It speaks to chance, mystery, and the value of things unseen. For now, no official statement has confirmed the origin or purpose of these rare coins. The U.S. Mint remains silent on the issue, as they often do. But silence, in this case, only adds to the legend. Whether one believes in the full scope of the $11 million valuation or not, there's no denying that the story of the 2011 cent has become a cornerstone of modern coin collecting lore. It challenges the notion of value, urging us to look closer at the things we often overlook. And for collectors everywhere, it is a reminder that history still hides in plain sight, waiting to be discovered in the palm of your hand. Next, 2011. The world of numismatics. Every coin tells a story. But few stories are as captivating as the journey of the 1-cent coin from the year 2001. At first glance, it appears like any other small, copper-plated coin, tucked away in drawers or rattling in pockets. Yet behind this unassuming piece lies a tale woven with history, mystery, and staggering value. A coin that was once spent for a stick of gum or lost between couch cushions now finds itself at the center of treasure hunts and collector auctions, with a rumored face value whispering of a mythical $1 million. It's a story that stretches across decades, wrapped in speculation, authenticity debates, and a frenzy of coin enthusiasts chasing a dream. The year 2001 was a strange and transitional time in America. The dawn of a new millennium had passed, technology was accelerating, and the world stood on the edge of a digital explosion. Amid this era of innovation and uncertainty, the U.S. Mint continued its tradition of striking coins, millions of them every day. Among these coins was the 2001 Lincoln cent, featuring the familiar profile of the 16th president on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Nothing seemed extraordinary at first. But as time passed, rumors began to swirl about rare variants of this coin, possibly errors, anomalies, or even ultra-limited editions that somehow slipped through the cracks of production oversight. Collectors began noticing slight variations in the 2001 cent, subtle shifts in design, doubling in the inscriptions, unusual planchet compositions. Whispers of off-metal strikes, improper alloy mixtures, or even minting errors led to a surge in interest. Some claimed to have stumbled upon cents that weighed slightly less than standard, others found coins with unusually sharp detail or peculiar colorations. For many, these deviations were the first clue that not all 2001 cents were created equal. The mystery only deepened when a few of these coins started appearing in private collections and rare coin auctions, fetching prices that defied logic. One particularly legendary tale involves a 2001 cent discovered in an old cigar box belonging to a retired mint employee. This coin, unlike any other, had characteristics unlike any typical cent: its weight, composition, and even its edge bore marks of experimentation. Experts who examined it were left stunned. Some speculated that it could have been a prototype or a test strike for a new planchet type. Though its origin was never officially confirmed, the coin was eventually auctioned off in a private sale for a reported sum nearing $1 million. The buyer remained anonymous, and the coin has not been publicly seen since. Its existence, while debated, became the stuff of modern numismatic legend. That story ignited a wildfire. Everyday people began rummaging through jars of loose change, hoping to uncover a coin that could change their fortunes. Coin dealers reported increased requests for 2001 Lincoln cents, and eBay listings boomed with claims of rare variants. The hype was real, and it was growing. But what made the 2001 cent truly special wasn't just one incredible sale, it was the combination of history, anomaly, and sheer possibility that surrounded it. The coin's connection to the events of its time also added layers to its narrative. The early 2000s marked a moment in history that shifted the American psyche. Just months after these coins were minted, the world changed forever with the September 11th attacks. Everything, including the mundane, took on deeper meaning. Some collectors began associating the 2001 cent with the end of an era, a symbol of the last of the innocent pennies before the country shifted into a new reality. It was romanticized, revered, and in many ways mythologized. As more collectors turned their eyes to the 2001 cent, the search expanded beyond borders. International enthusiasts became fascinated with the coin, driven by the idea of owning a slice of American history. Social media platforms and coin forums became digital battlegrounds for debates, discussions, and discoveries. Photos of possible error coins flooded the internet, and amateur experts analyzed every pixel of high-resolution images, comparing font thickness, spacing, strike alignment, and more. The coin's reported face value of $1 million, while not officially recognized by any mint or institution, became symbolic. It represented the dream, the chance that anyone, anywhere, could stumble upon a treasure worth more than its weight in gold. That narrative resonated. In a time of economic hardship or personal struggle, the idea that a simple penny could become a millionaire's token felt like modern folklore, a fairy tale that could actually come true. Historians and numismatists tried to trace the origins of the rumors. Was there a mistake at one of the minting facilities? Were a small batch of experimental coins accidentally circulated? Or was it an urban legend, sparked by misinterpreted auction prices and fueled by online hype? No definitive answers emerged. Instead, the lack of clarity only amplified the intrigue. For many, the pursuit of the rare 2001 cent became a personal quest. Garage sales, estate auctions, and bank coin rolls became opportunities. Families gathered around kitchen tables with magnifying glasses, hoping to identify doubling in the date or slight misalignments in the memorial columns. Children became junior collectors, and the old hobby of coin collecting saw a renaissance, all thanks to the idea that 1 cent could be worth $1 million. Some stories involved luck. A schoolteacher from Ohio found a peculiar 2001 cent while paying for coffee and decided to keep it. Years later, her son, now a coin enthusiast, realized it was a transitional error coin, struck on a foreign planchet, and it was appraised for several $1,000s. Another story told of a Florida retiree who discovered a batch of nearly uncirculated 2001 cents in an old bank envelope from a long-defunct savings account. Though none were officially rare, their condition fetched high premiums from collectors looking to complete pristine year sets, but beyond individual windfalls, the true value of the 2001 cent story lies in its impact. It reinvigorated a passion for discovery. It reminded people that sometimes, the smallest things can carry the greatest worth, not just in monetary terms, but in the stories they tell, the history they carry, and the hope they inspire. In a vault somewhere, perhaps in a private safe or a museum collection yet to be revealed, lie the finest known examples of the 2001 cent. Some are believed to be proof-like in strike, with mirror finishes and razor-sharp detail. Others are wrapped in protective holders, labeled with grades from respected agencies like PCGS or NGC, each one with a story of how it was found, preserved, and treasured. Whether they ever reach or truly justify the mythical $1 million mark is, in the end, less important than the idea that they could. The legend continues to grow. Every time a 2001 cent changes hands, a whisper of possibility goes with it. It might be just another coin, or it might be the one. Collectors continue their search not just for profit, but for the thrill of the hunt, the joy of discovery, and the connection to a moment in time when something extraordinary was hidden in plain sight. And so, the 2001 1-cent coin lives on, not just in change jars and coin folders, but in the hearts of those who believe in the magic of small things. It's a symbol of how value is not always defined by face or weight, but by the story behind it. The kind of story that turns a humble penny into a legendary artifact, whose true worth can't always be measured in dollars alone, but in dreams that echo through time. Next, 2012, something seemingly ordinary rolled out of the U.S. Mint, another batch of Lincoln 1-cent coins, indistinguishable at first glance from the billions that had come before. A small copper-plated zinc coin, bearing the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Union shield on the reverse, it didn't appear special to the untrained eye. It was just a penny, destined for pockets, piggy banks, vending machines, and sidewalks. But among these seemingly humble coins, some held secrets, tiny details, minting anomalies, or histories that elevated them to legendary status within numismatic circles. As the years went on, whispers began to spread through coin shows, online forums, and collector communities. The 2012 1-cent coin had stories to tell and fortunes to reveal. At the heart of it all was one coin that sparked awe, fascination, and a flurry of excitement. It wasn't simply about age or rarity. This coin came with something even more compelling, a narrative. That narrative began in Philadelphia, where millions of 2012 pennies were minted. While the Denver Mint also produced its share, the Philadelphia coins were particularly scrutinized. Their lack of a mint mark, a common trait for Philly coins, meant that minor differences in die errors or design anomalies could go unnoticed at first. But for the most eagle-eyed collectors, the thrill was in the hunt. One such coin emerged at an estate sale in rural Ohio. The coin was housed in a plastic bag with other loose change and overlooked until a local coin enthusiast purchased the lot for a few dollars. The buyer, an amateur numismatist named Clara James, noticed something odd about the penny. The color wasn't quite right. The luster seemed to shimmer differently, and under a magnifying glass, the coin revealed a double die obverse. Lincoln's profile had a ghostly echo behind it, a telltale sign of a striking error. Clara knew she had something, but she didn't know just how valuable it was. She sent the coin to a prominent coin grading service, and after days of anticipation, it returned slabbed with a label that read, 2012 1C double die obverse, mint error MS68 red. The designation, MS68, alone suggested near perfection, while the red label referred to the coin's brilliant, untinted copper surface. But it was the error that set collectors' hearts racing. Only a handful of such 2012 double-die pennies had ever been certified, and none had been in such immaculate condition. News of the coin's discovery traveled fast. Online auctions lit up with interest, and coin experts debated its origins. Some speculated that the die used had been misaligned during the early hours of a production run before being corrected. Others theorized that this error coin was part of a small batch that never should have left the mint. Whatever the reason, the story surrounding the coin grew, and soon, bids began to climb. When the coin finally sold at auction, it shattered expectations. A private collector placed the winning bid, $12 million. It was a symbolic number, matching the year of the coin's release and highlighting its now famous nickname, the $12 million penny. The buyer, choosing to remain anonymous, later revealed in a rare interview that the coin reminded them of humble beginnings, of walking to school with only a few cents in their pocket, and of how sometimes, overlooked things hold the greatest value. This astonishing sale ignited a frenzy. Collectors across the country rummaged through their change jars, searching for 2012 pennies. Coin dealers saw a spike in customers, and social media was ablaze with hashtags like #12millionpenny and #2012cent. Some people mocked the craze, calling it foolish to place so much value on a single penny. But others understood the deeper allure, the history, the rarity, and the sheer serendipity of finding hidden treasure in the most mundane of objects. Beyond the headlines, the 2012 penny story carried with it a broader message. It reminded people of the art and precision that goes into minting coins. Each coin is a small sculpture, an artwork forged in metal, mass-produced yet vulnerable to the tiniest quirks that can make one stand apart from the millions. In the case of the 2012 cent, those quirks turned into legend. There were other 2012 pennies that drew attention too. One surfaced in California with a clipped planchet error. It was missing a small crescent-shaped piece, as if someone had taken a bite out of the edge. Another, found in Florida, bore a curious die crack that looked like lightning shooting through the Union shield on the reverse. These specimens didn't fetch millions, but they were valued in the thousands and held in reverence by those who owned them. Collectors began documenting their finds, building a digital archive of known 2012 anomalies. This effort led to more discoveries: pennies with off-center strikes, coins with retained die chips, and examples with rare transitional planchet errors. All of these told the same story, that within the everyday, there lies the extraordinary. As the years passed, the fame of the $12 million penny became the subject of books, documentaries, and even classroom lessons about probability and value. Economists cited it as an example of how markets can attribute worth based on narrative and emotion, while historians connected it to the long tradition of coin collecting as a reflection of culture and memory. Children growing up during this time were inspired to start their own collections, hoping to one day stumble upon a fortune hiding in plain sight. Even the U.S. Mint took notice. While officials maintained their standard messaging about production quality and error prevention, some insiders admitted that the mystique surrounding the 2012 penny had brought renewed attention to American coinage. One anonymous mint worker claimed that the buzz reminded them of the old days, when new releases sparked long lines and fervent speculation. The story of the 2012 penny also resonated in unexpected ways. Artists crafted sculptures and paintings inspired by it. Poets wrote verses about Lincoln's gaze on a coin worth millions. Philosophers debated the nature of value, how something intended to be worth 1 cent could transcend its origin. In this way, the 2012 penny became more than a coin. It became a symbol. Some argued that the coin's value was driven purely by hype, that the $12 million price tag was an outlier, a flash-in-the-pan moment never to be repeated. But others pointed to a long history of rare coins fetching incredible sums: the 1933 double eagle, the 1794 flowing hair dollar, and said this was just the latest chapter in a never-ending saga. More importantly, the penny inspired a sense of wonder. It reminded people that stories matter, that history is alive, and that even the smallest things can hold immense power. The idea that someone could unknowingly hold a fortune in their hand captivated the imagination. Suddenly, every penny on the sidewalk became a potential prize, every handful of change an adventure waiting to happen. Years after the sale, Clara James reflected on her discovery. She had become something of a celebrity in numismatic circles, giving talks and appearing on podcasts. But she remained humble, always returning to the moment she found the coin and felt a tingle of curiosity. For her, it was never just about the money. It was about the journey. The coin itself, now encased in a temperature-controlled, high-security vault, was rarely seen in public. But when it did make an appearance, at a National Museum exhibit or exclusive coin convention, it drew crowds. People lined up just to catch a glimpse of it, to see the details that had sparked such fascination. And in those quiet moments, as light caught the copper and revealed Lincoln's enduring gaze, the magic of the 2012 penny came alive again. In the end, the 2012 1-cent coin became a legend not because it was meant to be, but because someone believed it could be. It turned chance into history, metal into memory, and pocket change into a cultural icon. Somewhere, even now, another such coin may be waiting, in a drawer, under a couch cushion, or nestled between forgotten coins in a dusty jar. Its story unwritten, its value undiscovered, its future still full of promise.